When you elevate your energy, you immediately connect to your higher self. Your higher self can offer you experiences that match the frequency of the dominant transmissions that it resonates on. In other words, all of the amazing things, the high vibrational things, joy, light, laughter, love, peace, wisdom, healing, all of it. Then, if you vibrate low, you're resonating with your lower self, your ordinary self. That's the pedestrian self, what you see here, all these people. One-dimensional beings, linear lateral mentality, duality, polarization, dichotomy, separation, all that stuff. I've said it a million times, and that's what you'll experience. So it's really a matter of choice and decision, consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, and superconsciously, where you decide to choose to put your energy, or if you surrendered your energy to an external source, and that external source happens to be very low vibrational, that's what they're going to take you. Because when you surrender your energy to this system, it's demonic. Don't make any mistake about it. It's just pure Satanism right to the core. So it's only going to take you exactly to its home base, so to speak. Its point of origin, which is always going to be the nucleus of darkness. So that's what you're going to experience. Depression, sadness, homicidal tendencies, suicidal tendencies, thoughts of killing people, killing yourself. It'll just flood your mind constantly. You hear voices. You might walk into the kitchen and see a knife, and all of a sudden, you get this idea to do something with it to yourself. Crazy things. Things like this. That's exactly what it's going to do to you. Plus, you got the nano foods working in tandem with the microwave towers, which makes things much, much worse. Or you could just say to yourself, I don't want to deal with this. I'm not going to be doing this. I've had this in my life for too many years. I'm going to just consciously switch my energy and plug into my higher self. And what I mean by high vibrational, I don't mean walking around with a phony smile on your face, like a lot of these phony people are, these plastic people, these disingenuous entities. They're phony. These are some of the most vicious and evil people. They're just walking around with phony smiles plastered to their face because they fit into the false identity. I'm not talking about that. You don't have to smile on your face to be happy. Happiness is inside. So you could just be chill and just be happy as anything inside. It has nothing to do with the facial expressions on your face. Nothing whatsoever. That's not happiness. That's just a facial expression. After all, when serial killers are killing their victims, they're smiling too. So there's different types of happiness. Some people get joy out of helping others, and some people get joy out of killing others. It's just the way they're wired. It's just the way this universe is, man. That's just the way it is. But what I'm trying to say is that you have a choice. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, depending on your level of vulnerability or your level of courage and proactive autonomous awareness. Sometimes you're in charge of energies. Sometimes you're not in charge of your energies. Sometimes you're weak and vulnerable, and the darkness will prey on that weakness and exploit it. But you have to get to the point where you're not going to find yourself like that. You're always vibrating away from that field where they can get to you. It doesn't necessarily have to be like high, like, happy and super plastered, smiley face and all that nonsense. That's just fake. Nobody can do that unless somebody's on drugs and they're whacked out all day long. Yeah, then maybe. You might find somebody who's naturally like that. I come across them once every 30 years. If you see them, they're just always smiling. They're tapped into something is just super, super special. And God bless them. They're just like human sunshine with legs. That's what they are. You see them every once in a while, but for the remainder of us, something that we have to work at. So what you do is you just practice whatever that is to you. Practice creating that space and practice staying there and not letting anything pull you out and pull you down. So it's just something to really strive to achieve and accomplish in your own life. This way you're not vibrating with the same zombified, ossified, petrified minds here. And you just don't want to get caught in that shuffle, that rat race, that hustle, that grind. It just pulverizes your soul to death. And you're not even living, you're existing, you're drifting, man. It's aimlessly, with no ambition, just trying to beat out the other guy, get yours or die trying. And all of that same nonsense that they feed your head. It's just a bunch of garbage in the end. So you have a decision and a choice. You could vibe low and be one of these egocentric pedestrian drones that can't think for themselves, or just pull yourself out of that whole craziness and go vibe somewhere else. Even if you got to create your own little environment, which I always advise, create your own little space and you put everything you love in there. It's like your own little safety area, and it's like, they used to refer to it as your happy place. That's exactly it. And you stay there and nobody else is allowed in, just you. And it's just beautiful, man.